going to show you how to make Lechon Macau, which is a Chinese crispy roasted pork belly. Let's get started. You need 2 kilos of boneless pork belly, 1 tablespoon of white or brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of 5-spice or ngohiong powder, 4 teaspoons of salt, 1 tablespoon garlic powder, 8 grams of seasoning granules like magic sarap, or you can add 1 teaspoon vetsin, or you can just omit. Then 2 tablespoons of rice wine. For my special dipping sauce, you need 1 cup of spicy coconut vinegar. You can also use the plain coconut vinegar. 2 tablespoons sugar, 2 tablespoons soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of chopped lemongrass, 2 tablespoons of chopped onions. All you have to do is mix everything together. I always use coconut vinegar because I like the flavor, but you can use cane vinegar. This is sugar. You can use white or brown sugar. You have soy sauce, lemongrass. This is not a Chinese recipe, the sauce, but the Lechon Macau is. This is my fusion cooking. Actually, you can serve this with any roasted recipe, whether it's pork, chicken, fish, or any seafood. Okay? You can prepare this, put this in the refrigerator. It will keep about 3 days because what breaks down are the onions and the lemongrass. Okay? This is called Lechon Macau because this is the crispy Chinese roasted pork. This is a different recipe from let's say Lechon Kawali. Okay? It uses a different technique. First, we mix together. I have salt, 5-spice powder, and then garlic powder, brown sugar, and then I use a little of the seasoning granules. If you don't like that, you can omit. Okay? The first step that we're going to do is optional. You don't have to do this, but this will make it easy for you to prick the skin. What we're going to do is we're going to boil this for 10 minutes, okay? I have here a pot of water. We're just going to boil this just 10 minutes, okay? Just so that it's easy for you to prick the skin. If you can prick the skin without boiling it, it's fine, okay? This is just a step, as I said, to make it easy for you. You know, 10 minutes is just an estimate. You can do 5. If you think the skin can be pierced with a fork, then it's good, okay? By the way, this one has no seasoning. This is just water, so don't use this as a soup stock. Throw it out after you finish boiling. Okay, I'll take this out now. And then we will cool this. Okay, then you take off the impurities from the skin. Sometimes, like, you know, hair and other dirt, you take them out. Okay, after that, you poke the skin. You can use a sharpened barbecue stick, you can use a fork, or you can use the tip of a small knife. But what I do is I use a meat tenderizer. There are 2 kinds of meat tenderizer available in the market. One is the one that looks like a hammer. This one is the one that you use, okay? You poke it. It has to be close, so don't do that, okay? So make sure you make a grid, because then this will burst when you bake it, and then it will create little bubbles to make it crispy, okay? If you did not boil it, you will find it difficult to poke because the skin is tough, okay? So that's why I boil it. That's the only reason for boiling. If you can poke it without boiling, then don't need to boil. You know, every time I put up a tutorial video, I try to find ways to make it easy for you to follow. Once in a while, please, or well, not once in a while, every time you watch my tutorial video, please read the description box because there I write a little story, a little history about what I'm showing you. And I'll also give you tips and other tips and other techniques. And also I put there whatever I forgot to say in the video and if there are corrections, okay? I am making 2 recipes today. So I have 4 pieces here of pork belly. The recipe I gave you is good for 2 kilos. But I'm making double right now because I have 4 kilos. Okay. Try to make sure that the holes are near each other. That's as much as possible. There's very little space. Because as I said, the more holes, the more blisters. So I'm going to invert this and I'm going to make slices. The slices that I'm going to make is just a guide for you so that when you slice the pork belly, once the skin is crispy, you have a guide so it's easy. The skin will not crack so much. Slice it shallow, about maybe 1/4 of an inch. And you will see once this is cooked, the reason for doing this. Alright, then we put the seasoning. Remember all the spices? Okay, let's divide this first. And then you massage it, that it goes into each crevice. And then we will put rice wine, 1 tablespoon per belly. Alright. Then, after this, we turn this over. Oops. Make sure your skin has no seasoning. We want our skin clean. Okay. Where's your salt? And then, you get paper towels. The whole idea of making skin crispy is a very dry skin. The drier the skin, the crispier it is, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put salt. The purpose of the salt is it will draw out the moisture from the meat. So I put about 2 teaspoons of salt. This is rock salt. Salt that you 1 or 2 teaspoons, yeah. I think 1 teaspoon is enough. Anyway, if you put too much, it's alright because we're going to wipe this off, okay? We will let this sit here in the mixture on top of the skin for about 1 hour. And you will notice that the moisture will come out and then we will wipe that. So this position will serve 2 purposes. Number 1, the marinade will be in contact with the meat because it's on the tray. It's flat on the tray. At the same time, the salt on top will draw out the moisture. After 1 hour, we will come back to this and I will wipe this. And then we will put some oil and we will put this in the refrigerator overnight. And tomorrow morning, we will bake our Lechon Macau. Alright? So 1 hour. Here you see, after 1 hour, you see puddles of water. This is moisture from the skin, which was extracted because of the salt that we put in. See? So what we do next now is we remove this. We don't want the extra salt because it will be too salty. So we wipe this off. So this is the role of the salt, to extract the extra moisture from the meat, from the skin, sorry. Tomorrow, you will still see a little bit of the moisture, but that's alright. We will also wipe it out. Alright, we will keep this in the refrigerator overnight. But what we're going to do is, we're going to put foil around this so that tomorrow, we will transfer it here, see? And then this goes into the oven, okay? So for now, we will just put aluminum foil, wrap it around. You can also do this tomorrow, but I always do it the day after I finish wiping, so that all I have to do tomorrow is lift this and put this in the rack, okay, in the baking pan. The reason I'm not putting it here tonight is because I want the meat to marinate in the spices. So the spices are in the bottom, so I want it to stay there. So it's like this, okay? Then next thing we do is you put oil, and then you brush the oil, okay? I would say you put about maybe 2 teaspoons of oil. This one. If you need more, you can add. Alright, then we put this in the refrigerator. And tomorrow morning, we're going to bake this. Alright, here, this is our pork belly, which has been in the refrigerator overnight. The white spots that you see is just oil. Remember, we brushed it with oil last night. Okay? So we're now ready. So let's transfer this here. The foil is to protect the sides so they will not burn. Okay? So we'll put this inside the oven for about at 320 degrees for about 1.5 to 2 hours. Okay? We will check after. Right? Okay? 320 degrees, about 1.5 to 2 hours. Here, look at the Lechon Macau. This is after 1.5 hours. You can see all the bubbles where we pricked it. Okay, I'll try to open if you can get a clearer view. See? Okay. If you are here, you can smell it. It smells so good. You can smell the prominent flavor is the 5-spice powder. Alright, so this still has a lot of maybe 2 hours more to go. Okay? I have many recipes to share with you. If you're interested, please like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you can be alerted when a new video is uploaded. Alright, our Lechon Macau. To recap, I put this in the oven at 320 degrees for 1.5 hours. After that, I increased it for 1 hour at 350 degrees, then 30 minutes at 375 degrees. So a total of 3 hours, alright? So see? Alright. Once you take out the Lechon Macau, please remember, you have to let it sit about 30 minutes before you start slicing them, okay? So see the fine bubbles that we got from pricking the skin. This is why this is what is characteristic of Lechon Macau, the fine bubbles. This is our lechon, see? Lechon Macau. Okay, if you slice from here, there's a tendency for it to crack. So remember the slices that we made earlier. This is how okay, so we get cleaner cuts. Alright. Let's arrange it on the plate. The real Lechon Macau, they serve it with ketchup. But this is a fusion, so I serve it with suka and patis that we made.